All right. Hello, everyone. Oh, wait. I'm Dylan.
Oh my God. I'm Neil, and this is Youth on Subjects of the World. So today it's another episode where it's just me and Dylan, or Dylan and I, whatever. And I guess we'll just be talking about what's on our mind. I like those episodes because we talk about stuff like that a lot.
All right, Neil, do you want to talk about what's going on in the world? I have two things I know what's going on.
Great. Let's start with that.
All right. There's one thing. There's that stupid, there's the mascot from Philly.
What happened with that?
I don't know. It's just really stupid. It's like this guy, they called him I don't know, like rough or something, like rough and tough. It's like, gritty. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Gritty. It's the Flyers mascot called
Wait,
Gritty.
wait, wait. Before you continue, did people get like offended for some reason?
No, it's just stupid.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like it's just like it's a 7-foot orange like ball of like yarn.
Yeah.
It's just really stupid and it just runs around.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't really give a shit about that. So what's the next? What's the
Well,
second?
also because it's called a gritty because it's like, oh, Philadelphia is all gritty with a backstreet because it is very stupid. Also, you can talk about Kavanaugh. That's pretty scary. He's an asshole, probably. Kavanaugh.
What's that?
You know,
What's that about?
he's the guy that's the Supreme Court nominee who like that.
Oh, Trump's second nominee.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and
Okay.
he got accused of raping this woman.
Let's put him as the head of the judicial system.
Yeah, he's really fucking creepy. And then they're just talking like,
Are the accusations are they founded?
yeah, well, they have like lots like this woman's therapist, like she came out first. She just wrote a letter, but they're like, that's not good enough. Like, how do we know that she's just not bullshitting
Right.
all of
It's
us?
like lying.
But then she came back. She opened up, and then they had a big hearing, a testimony at the Senate, and she has like 20 or 30 years of therapist notes all about this.
Okay, what the fuck?
Like,
And Trump is still his nominee.
yes, Trump is still back. He's like, I could just never see this guy doing it. It's like, dude, fuck you.
My God, he's such an asshole.
And I was listening to this one guy. He was like, oh, the amount of people that just forget things is just astronomical. It's like, yeah, like if you see someone a drive-by shooting, sure. If you got raped, there's no way.
Why does she forget things? I think that she just forgot, how she got raped or whatever. It's just who raped her. You know what I mean? It's like, sometimes you don't remember things. It's like, oh, I got a cup of coffee today, got a cup yesterday. What did I eat for lunch? Who raped me? It's like, it's give or take with these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, I can't
No,
remember that.
idiots.
It's like so fucking retarded. And so, and he's like crying through this entire thing. He's just retarded. This
Judge
guy's,
or
yeah.
the judge?
Yeah, the judge, Kavanaugh. Oh, I'm Kavanaugh. And then he comes out. Let's say I'm just reaching something. He comes out and is like, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 25, so there's no way this could have happened. Dude,
No one's ever lied about their virginity before. That's a fact.
and also this other woman came out and was like, yeah, he put his penis in my face. And then they asked, like, they got testimonies from his friends from college, and they're like, yeah, we could totally see him doing this.
Oh my God, what the fuck? And Trump's still like, oh, let's not make this guy.
He's like, I could never see him doing it. It's like, so obviously he just raped this woman. And,
Probably because that Kavanaugh's pelvis was just so pressed against Trump's face that he just couldn't see anything that's happening. He's like, I just couldn't see the evidence. He can't talk right because Right. So anyways, moving on. But you want to talk about the Venezuelan crisis?
and the other, the like billionth time. I don't know what's going on with that one. I
Okay.
always assume Venezuela's in the shithole.
Venezuela's in the shithole right now because of just corruption, socialism, and just downright being stupid. So president it's like so right now
Hugo Chavez?
Venezuela is so fucking devalued. Like you have to go there and you have to have a big stack of cash to get by anything. Like seriously anything.
Yeah, inflation is that shit.
Inflation is fucking insane. And then President Maduro tried to counteract that with a new cryptocurrency. That fucking failed. People are on feet trying to get the fuck out of there because it sucks. That's happening. And so actually I don't know what to talk about it because it's I don't know what to say. It's shit's going down. I don't know what to say.
It's always stuff is just complete shit there. I was actually listening to this Horrible YouTube video. It's complete and utter trash. So
How
it's called
so?
it's from this YouTube channel that's just trying to be BuzzFeed, and it sucks. Called like Jubilee or something. I don't know.
I
And
think I've seen that.
they have this video called like
Do they,
middle.
are they like one of those channels that like take all the bad, like take BuzzFeed's good and bad, take all the bad crap content from BuzzFeed and then use that?
Kind of, yeah.
And I know BuzzFeed has some. I like some of BuzzFeed's content, but then they have like the crap
Yeah.
videos, and it's like, oh my god, this sucks. I can't
So
stand it.
it was all about, it was like the show itself is called Middle Ground. So it's already one enormous middle ground fallacy.
Oh,
Like-
wait a second.
It's like trying to find a middle ground in
Oh, shit.
between two.
Oh, is that the show where they have like a bunch of people from one side of the argument and a bunch of people from the other?
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. That's fun.
Complete and utter trash.
What the
Neil.
fuck, Dylan? It's
They're
great.
so
It's a great
stupid.
show. It's creative.
It's so stupid. It's just
How?
one big middle ground fallacy.
Okay, clearly you don't understand what the middle ground fallacy is.
The middle,
Dylan.
I know it's like claiming that the middle ground
But
between
they're not
two things is
they're not
accurate.
proclaiming anything.
No, but they're making it sound like it is. It's so
Well,
stupid.
they're not. They're just trying to see.
They
if
they
can.
obviously are. It's so
Oh my
obvious.
fucking! You're so full of it.
I'm not full of it. You're
Yes,
just.
you are. You
you're
don't
just
understand what the
stupid.
middle ground fallacy
You're
is.
just. I do know what the middle ground fallacy is.
What is it?
It's when you believe that the middle ground between, so it's like two opposite ends, and then they come to a middle ground, and then they assume that the middle ground is truth.
Yeah, that is, and they're not trying to make that.
They are. They're not saying.
They're
it
not trying to say it's
explicitly.
true. They're trying to say, and look, but it's like they're trying to take two. It's literally just a kind of like a debate show thing.
I guess so, but I think most of it's complete and utter trash.
What?
Yeah.
All right, I kind of like that show. I watch some of it.
But then
They're
they
not trying to influence anyone.
were doing socialists and capitalists,
Oh yeah, I feel like sometimes they like try to get the most extreme of each point instead of like trying to get
and like
moderate.
they had this one guy who was the American socialist candidate. God, he's just so stupid. They were like the stupidest people I've ever seen. And they're like talking about the Norwegian countries. It's like, how stupid
Oh
are
yeah,
you?
it works with like socialism does work with like 5 people, but
5 people who are like basically one family. Like they're the same
up to,
race.
like,
They're all the
350
same
people.
family. Like holy shit.
So
They're
first of
just
all,
the same people.
try to implement socialism in a place like India. You be fucked.
I know.
Like
People are like,
seriously.
fuck you. Like,
Like,
you talk about
socialism in China though. First of all, shut the hell up. You don't
100
know.
million people got killed, for Christ's sake.
First of all, China, there's so much. It is so fucking weird. Like in the churches, like the states, because the churches have to all be state sponsored. Like they have like pictures of the glorious chairman there next to Jesus. It's like, oh, you can worship Jesus, but remember who's in charge. It's like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God, that's so weird. That's so fucked up. And it's so weird. It's so gross.
Isn't like Quotations of Mao like the 3rd most read book in the world?
Yeah. Like along with Harry Potter, the Bible, and Quotations of Chairman Mao Zedong. And why is that one of the most read books in the world? Because it's because it was like state mandated by one of the biggest countries in the world. Like you had to read it. It was required reading. And look, the only reason the Chinese economy is so big, well, I mean, there are multiple reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is because they have these like concentrated free zones. It's basically taking like a small zone and saying capitalism can exist here. But yeah, that's it. And that's why the economy is growing and it's like so good or whatever. And it's just a good economy. But it sucks for the people. Like,
yes, it does seem like it
especially
sucks.
for small businesses there. Like if you're trying to like sell your shit on the street or something, like the police, there's like a special name for them. Just think of them as the fucking mafia. Like they basically just go around like policing the street merchants. They just fucking beat the shit out of people. You can look it up on YouTube. God knows how they got it up there on YouTube, probably from like Tor or some shit. Because all that shit's banned in China. Can't go on YouTube. If you're watching this podcast, you're not in China. Or you're doing it illegally. Watch out for the cops. Like seriously, because you can't, because where does the podcast go to? It's like on like the CCN website. We have a new website for it now. It's like, I highly doubt any of those are allowed in China. Maybe you can't Google our podcast, that's for sure. Because Google's not allowed there. Can't do it on YouTube. I don't know if iTunes or any of that stuff's available there. It might be, to be fair. I'm not trying to like this is completely. China does have a lot of good traits. Like it's managed to, how China has managed to bring its poverty level down so far like that, it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. China has managed to like So like the two countries with the biggest poverty rates that have been brought down, I think like India's was at like 80%. It got brought to like 40. It was insane. Like, no, 40% is like still, it's like, oh shit, that's an insane poverty rate. It's probably lower than 40 now. I think it's like, I don't know. But it's still pretty high. But China was able to lower it to like, it's so low. Like China is doing something right. They're doing many things wrong, but they're doing some things right. I'm not trying to say that they're not doing anything right. They are doing quite a few things right. There are a lot of like pretty wealthy people in China.
Yes.
But also there are a lot of pretty dirt poor people in China. However, they were able to lower that number. So not completely just in China, but I'm not saying it should be like the textbook example, socialism is so great. Because it's like whenever socialism is ever tried, it's always like the death, the blood, like the blood on people's hands is so much. Like the death count is always so high.
Yeah, it's tremendous most of the time.
And India's economy was only able to start growing now. Like India's economy was a little bit stagnant. It's skyrocketing now because they're implementing a bunch of capitalist policies, like allowing the economy to grow freely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, boom, it's skyrocketing.
Yes.
Along with China's, they're also implementing a bunch of capitalist ideologies and controlled capitalism. It's so weird how they control capitalism and it still works. It's basically like taking all the bad stuff from capitalism that yields results and taking all the good stuff from capitalism and just leaving it out there. Because it's kind of weird. You take all the bad stuff that comes with capitalism and use that. But it works. So it's great. It's not great, but it's hilarious.
China can make it. I think China's like, since there's just so many people, it's kind of figured out on its own. Like even though they are socialist, I think there's just too many people that don't.
The amount of time that they've taken to develop this system is insane.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of time this system is.
The people figured out, I think, on their own that socialism doesn't work. They've kind of created their own.
Can't say shit about it.
Yeah, it's like, they don't really know what they're talking about. But yes, I know. Well, socialism sucks, and the guy on the video is just very stupid. He was very. I don't get socialists at all. It just seems so obviously stupid. Just like either really entitled people or really poor people. You never see anyone like. I don't say this, but like really smart people just aren't socialists. I've never seen that. I mean, maybe smart is.
And I'm not trying to use the middle ground logical fallacy here, but I think this is a place where middle ground can play a role to an extent. I still think that I lean much more libertarian than I do socialist. Like completely. I feel like for socially, not socialist, socially, I lean maybe left. But like economically, maybe I lean a little bit right.
Mm-hmm. So you like trickle-down economics, Neil? Stupid.
Oh God, fuck no, it's so dumb. Trickle-down economics does not work. The only reason it worked with first of all, there's no evidence that it has ever worked or does work. The only reason it worked with Reaganomics was because he was spending a shit ton on the military, which like boosted the military-industrial complex. Like, well, the economy's growing and trickle-down economics is happening, so put two and two together. No, idiot. They're spending money on the military, perpetuating the military-industrial complex. That's why the economy's growing. So, yeah. I mean, in fact, it's kind of like socialism because they're just spending money on the military and the government's buying this stuff from private companies. They're basically giving the money to them. It is socialism in a very small way. Reaganomics was kind of socialism.
Neil, what do you think?
Talking out of my ass here.
Neil, what do you think about taxation as theft?
Taxation is theft. Okay, see, I understand that to a degree, definitely. But there's another part of me. It's like, well, I mean, as long as we have the system in place, like all of this, like I feel like you've benefited from our system. Like I'm not trying to say the system's perfect, but anyway,
that's stupid.
That's with the imagination. I'm not trying to say that.
I don't think that's true. I don't want to participate in this. I don't want help. I never asked them to help me.
I think you should be able to just like opt out of everything the government offers. If you want to. Like you can, right? Like you can go to court and argue why you want to get rid of your citizenship. Like you met something like that, right, Dylan?
Yes, I did.
Like if you want to do that, then you can, and then you don't get taxed.
You should just opt out of everything.
Yeah,
maybe you have to pay
is that really worth it? No, I don't think so. because you can't really get a stable job. You have to be paid under the table. You can't leave the country.
No, well
Other
then
countries
that's
won't
that's
recognize you.
stupid. I mean, like you should be able to opt out of taxation and and just not benefit from anything, which is
Well,
just stupid. I think
I mean,
I
there's still
I just
benefiting
think
from like the
I,
highways, and I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to make like a claim that we can't do that on our own. I'm saying right
no,
now the government does that.
I'm saying you should. I'm saying you should just get rid of all that. Taxation is theft. No matter how you put it, taxation is theft,
I mean,
and it's immoral.
can't you also see it as like a society voting on to make its rules and look, yes, it
That's
is.
stupid.
No,
No,
no, no. Listen,
that's
no,
stupid.
listen. If we take it in the most bare bones, because we were talking about like principle like a little while ago, Bill and I were like in the most bare bones, most principle. Like if you think about only principle, yes, theft. But another part of this is like even just a little bit, like if you take it, like if you look at the ultra, like I'm not saying we should tax ultra rich more, because if you actually take like 5 seconds to look into it, the ultra rich are taxed to fuck. Like seriously.
40%.
Yeah, it's insane. They are taxed to fuck. Like it is, it's like we should tax them more. We should not tax them more, okay? Because it's insane. I don't know about taxing, maybe we should tax them less, but some less. But look, I just think because we do
And
tax them a lot.
It's funny because people like there was this video I watched, and it was about like taxation, taxing them more, like the rich more, and they were like, let's see how much people think the rich should be taxed, and they're like, the ultra rich should be taxed at least 30%. It's like, you know that they're being taxed at least 40% right now, but you think they should be taxed more, and they're like, I didn't know they were being taxed that much. So Jesus, shut up.
Like, do the research. But look, the point is that I can see, but look, yes, is it technically stealing? Sure. But if I have to steal just a, because look, if you look at like these people, and if you look at how much they really fucking spend, how much people really need, like comparatively speaking, just stealing a teeny bit to make other people's lives better, like, you know, providing healthcare to like fucking people like on the side of the road dying. I am okay with that to a small extent. Like even like just like you have to understand.
But you would agree that taxation is at its core immoral.
Well, okay, wait.
It's unethical, and it's theft.
Well, I feel like all else hold constant. Yeah, but if you look at, because I mean, there's a whole thing about intent versus cause, and I feel like God, I feel like I'm making the middle ground house here. I feel like because like, for example, intent is like, I intend to do good, but I end up doing harm. Cause is like what the intent is, or the principle of it is bad, but it ends up doing overall good. I feel like taxation falls into that category.
The thing is it doesn't, most of the time, it doesn't do overall good.
Yeah, not most of the time, but I feel like to an extent.
A lot of the time it does. Your money ends up being sent to do immoral things.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the taxation money gets sent to the government so they can pay people and pay for things that go out to kill us.
Most government programs are just stupid socialist programs.
Well, I mean, I feel like at least helping, because I hear the argument like, oh, if we can let, you know, charity organizations help the poor, it's like, well, what if they just, I know but I just feel like the government should have these people's back to just an extent, like in a slight extent. And if the people like down, like really low on the slung, if they just get even like a little bit of, I'm not trying to say.
So what do you think if we just got rid of government programs?
Like which, like all of them, like every single one?
Yeah, pretty much all of them.
I'm trying to think of which ones would be like which one like I'd actually notice this.
Like get rid of taxation, just get rid of most.
Well, first of all, the government, so you're talking about anarchy because the government couldn't fund itself and it just crashed then.
Well, it would be like a, what is it? Why can't I think of it? A libertarian's paradise.
Well, you're basically, so either A, the government would have to invest in, have to be involved with the free market, or be anarchy. Like I don't think you have to.
Well, I don't think you should get rid of everything. I'm not saying to get rid of everything.
So then what the fuck? Because Dylan, if they don't have taxes, what the hell are they going to do? They have to have money from somewhere. Like, what are you talking about? So either A, it's anarchy, or either B, they invest.
I'm not even saying that we should do that.
If that happens, then the government will fall completely. Like hypothetically, the government will completely fall apart, and it'll be anarchy. And then what happens then? that's another episode entirely because it's anarchy and that's an extremely complex topic.
Yes.
Like, I'm not going to be a moron and be like, everything will go to shit. There will be riots in the streets. No, that's fucking dumb. I think most likely.
But you do think that if an American citizen leaves and starts to live out of the country, that they shouldn't have to pay taxes to America.
That's a dumb one. I think that's a dumb one. I don't think that's a. Well,
That seems
I feel like if
Or
you're an
you-
American citizen, I don't know. I guess
Neil, think how stupid that is. You're gaining nothing from America, and you still have to pay taxes from where you live.
well, I feel like you're getting the privilege of citizenship. Like, you have the privilege to live anywhere in the United States.
But Neil, you are living in another country, and then you can't.
I feel like you should be able
Pay
to renounce your
taxes.
citizenship. I think if you're at that point and you're pissed off about
Should
that,
renounce
renounce
your
your citizenship. Yeah,
But then you can't do anything. Then you can't
yeah.
go
That's
home.
why. That's why you're.
When you
and
go
that's why
home,
you-
you should.
And
when
that's why
go
you
home,
pay some of the
start paying-
taxes to be
Yeah.
have the privilege of being an American citizen.
But that doesn't. The government doesn't need your money for anything.
That's a whole other argument entirely.
No, it's not. That would be so stupid. If you left the country, and then you have to pay taxes for where you live then, and full taxes for if you were still living in America, even though you gain nothing.
Well,
Maybe
I don't know
you have to
about
pay-
full
maybe you have
tax.
to pay a little bit, but you have to pay right now. You
I
have to
think
pay full
I can understand a very small amount of taxation. I can't understand like a large any.
You have to pay right now. America and Cuba, I think, are like the only two countries in the world that you have to do that, where you have to pay the same taxes from where you live.
Okay,
and
whoa,
where you live.
whoa, whoa, whoa. The same. That's a different argument entirely.
No, you have to pay. So if like as me
Any
an
and the
American,
same are very different.
no. If I left America
Mm.
to go live somewhere else, I have to pay taxes where I'm
The
currently
same one,
living
same
somewhere.
same income, same property, same or not
Yes,
property,
yes.
same income, same location, like county, state.
Yes.
Okay, that's dumb. I think we can all agree on that.
Yes.
I can understand some taxation. However, the same taxation is really stupid.
It is the same taxation.
Then that's stupid.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
But
'cause I
not
can understand it. Not a
the
lot
same
by any extent because you're just having to pay taxes for where you are right now.
Yes. You have to pay full taxes. Like the exact same. So you're basically paying double.
And I mean, so I was thinking about one of Martin's dad's arguments about libertarianism, about how what is it? What I don't know what the word was for it, but it was about how like companies and corporations will get involved with the regulating process. So and people's minds, though they're slow to adapt, will adapt a lot faster than the government policies. So I've been taking a class, a college class on American politics and government politics. So far, it seems like the government actually, for some things, not all things, has adapted faster than public opinion and has helped push things along, like segregation, for example. Like
What's your class funded by?
So you're saying that they're outright lying? The government's outright lying? It's a community college.
Oh my God! Would you ever say that, Mister? The government's outright lying to me. Totally. They totally could be.
Yeah, they could be. I don't think they are. Like outright lying.
They probably are, Neil.
Do you think they're outright lying?
Possible. Can't deny it.
That's such a fucking dumb thing. I'm just
No,
gonna you can't prove a
like-
negative.
like-
Noah.
Like
you
what?
can't prove they're not.
Like what?
Like what? Like you mean what like the thing with segregation?
Like no, but what has the government responded to? Fast.
But I wouldn't. I would never use the word fast, like ever.
Okay.
But like segregation, the Supreme Court handled that when there was still segregation going on. Like this is just probably like a single example, like everywhere, and the government and the Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional to have segregated schools.
Mm.
However, like to be clear, it was delayed because they got like pressure from less so the public and like southern local courts and like the executive and legislative branch. So they kind of like added like a but wait to the whole thing.
Mm.
But long story short, like that's a single example of the government, doing, some things like that. And I mean, I think something else, side note, like I feel like what's the thing with like the Keystone Dakota? I don't know, the pipeline, the oil thing. Like I was wondering
Yeah.
why is that? Why are liberals against that? Right?
Where
And I
are
was reading that
liberals?
book, and because normally Republicans are for it, liberals are against it, but turns out like for some reason like the Native Americans are like really against it. I don't know, for some reason they think it's going to pollute. They say it pollutes their waters,
Hmm.
and I don't know if that's true or not, but I think it's almost irrelevant because I just feel like if you look at the history, oh my God, like forget the history. Like right now, we're still fucking them over. It's just insane.
I
Like the
know.
amount of times we just fucked them over. We're still doing it. God damn it. Can we not give them one goddamn thing? I swear to God.
It is pretty crazy though. I told you about that Mount Rushmore thing and
I
the
know.
Indian.
What the fuck? Like it was their land and they're like, oh, we're gonna do some dumb thing here. Like, we'll give you some money. We just want our land. Well, we'll give you this money. We just want our land. All right, well, I guess you don't want the money, so you're not gonna get the money. We're gonna take your land.
I think
Fuck.
they are being a little retarded though because the audience. So they're like the Native Americans who own the land where Mount Rushmore is. The government just stole that from them, and so the Native Americans got super pissed like you do, and they were like, "Why did you do that? Why did you steal from us?" And they were like, "We want our land back." It's like, well, we can't give you your land back because we built these enormous faces in this mountain. You're retarded. Why? It's like they're like someone who's really high. That's what they would come up with. Let's put faces in a mountain, okay? But like then they're like, but we can give you $1 million. But that's like in I don't know whenever they built Mount Rushmore, and they were like, we'll give you $1 million and we'll keep it in here and we'll keep adding interest. But now it's worth $2 billion and they're still not taking it. It's like, God damn it, just take the fucking money.
Well, either they're really dumb, either they're principled, they're really dumb, or they're really smart. Good thing
Maybe.
about it. Maybe they're really smart and they're waiting for it to grow at like insane value.
Well, Neil, you know that in like the Indian, I was listening to this documentary about it, and it was kind of about uh, it was about how much money like this thing that you get if you're Indian. If you graduate college, it's kind of like if you just graduate high school, the like elders will give you $200,000.
Fuck. What?
Everyone gets $200,000 if you're of
Is
Indian.
this like a thing at a village in India?
What?
Is this like a thing in like a village in India?
No. And like Native Americans, all Native Americans.
Oh, I thought you meant like India. I was like, oh,
No,
is this like a specific village?
No, Native Americans.
Okay. So they'll give you like 200 grand.
Yes, 200 grand. If
Well,
you just graduated.
it's because of like how many Native Americans are in poverty. Because it's like pretty high.
Yes, but they
Actually,
they have a lot of money.
in this book that I've been using for the class, 1 second. Here we go. So all Native there are so 27%. That's insane.
27%.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh, in India or Native Americans? What do you
No,
mean?
Native Americans.
Oh, that's
Americas.
crazy.
That's crazy.
It is really interesting though, like those Native American reserves.
Oh, that's the highest percentage of any minority, including Asians, Blacks, Hispanics. That's the highest.
That's pretty cool. But
It's pretty fucked. Like we took all their land, we fucked them over multiple times.
that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
And then
It's
like,
yeah, but those Indian reserves are really crazy because the Indian reserves are basically not America. It's just not like
yeah,
they
how does
don't
that
even-
exactly work? Like I know that.
they don't really even count as America.
Yeah, I know they don't really count, but they kind of like have.
They have their own laws. I think. I don't even think they have to follow America's laws.
They probably get special like tax benefits.
I don't even think they have to pay taxes.
Hmm.
Like because that's how they can have like casinos.
Right, that's what happened. Like I think the government gave a bunch of like not subsidies, but the government
It's surprising the amount of land in America that's taken up by Indian reserves. Like there's an Indian reserve that's
there's
like
a lot.
bigger than New Jersey.
Wow.
Like a lot bigger than New Jersey.
The thing is that they're like in the middle of these states that don't really have any
There's nothing really there.
people. So you can have those like really big masses without really affecting anything really. So it's pretty interesting.
It's pretty crazy though. I mean, they do have a lot. I mean, they do it.
Should Puerto Rico be a state?
What?
Should
Did
Puerto
you
Rico be a state? Moving the topic along, I think.
Oh, God, no. Fuck no. That's so stupid. Why would they ever want to become a state?
Yeah, it's basically like the only thing that changes is that, okay, so we either get totally fucked by this guy. Oh, wait. We can vote which party fucks us. Oh my God. This is great.
And it's like the thing is like they are not taxed. They have like little to no taxation because they're not a state. But what do they get out of being a state? They get to vote, I guess, but that's almost useless because you just get to vote who taxes you and how they're going to tax you. But you're not getting taxed in the first place. And they're going to be worse off. Like they're going to get more government.
Also, they don't meet the requirements to become a state. So it's like.
What requirements are there to become a state?
Like I think you have to be like financially like self-sufficient, which is kind of like contradictory, isn't it? So does Puerto Rico meet the
Also Puerto Rico, they were fucked over by communism.
Really?
They're freaking poor. Yes.
That was another thing. So in the textbook, so like almost every single Hispanic minority, like almost every single like Hispanic is Democrat, except for Hispanics from one country. Do you know what that country is? Just guess.
Puerto Rico? I don't know.
It's not a country, you fucking idiot.
Oh, country.
Mm-hmm. Except from one Hispanic country.
I want to guess this.
And they're almost all Republican.
Brazil.
No. It's for like a legitimate reason. Like, who wouldn't want big government because of something in the past that happened?
God, I don't
Think
know.
about it. They left their country, they came to America, and they sided with the least like pro-government party.
Least pro-government. I don't know.
It was the Cubans.
The Cubans?
Yeah, because they knew like, oh my God, socialism fucked us. We're gonna vote Republican.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
You know, actually, a lot of Brazilians are Asian. That's why, like, because you can definitely see some like Asian in Brazilians. So they a lot of Brazilians are Asian because they came from like China and Japan. So I thought it was pretty cool.
I can't see exactly where it's not telling me exactly if Puerto Rico meets the requirements. Are there requirements to be a state? I mean, there have to be. Like, other than just Congress saying, okay. What conditions require for a territory? Okay, this is freaking like, this is like a questioning answer site, so don't take this too seriously. Okay. New states may be admitted by the Congress into the Union, but no new state shall be formed or erected with the jurisdiction of any other state. This is relevant. The Congress will have the power to dispose and make, this is all relevant. This is about other. The first clause is just saying, this is Article 4, the state's Section 3, Clause 1. It seems to just be about, it's basically just saying that you can't create a state that like already encompasses the, so like you can't create a state between like New Jersey and Pennsylvania and say this is a new state without, I guess, like consulting the states.
I see.
That's irrelevant.
I sit on you.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. Maybe they do meet the requirements. I don't know. Are they economically self-sustainable?
No, they're really poor.
Because I know, and to be fair, one could make the argument that shouldn't be a requirement because Mississippi and a bunch of other like southern states don't pay. They actually get more back from the government than they give to it. So,
fucking Mississippi.
Yeah, bunch of. It's so funny that the smaller states, I feel like the the Republican states. It's really funny because like they want like really small local government to handle everything. Yet the federal government is what actually allows them to survive. Not them particularly, but the government itself. So
maybe smaller government would make it in the first place, so they didn't have to be dependent on big government.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make that argument. I'm just saying that if they do like small government, it's kind of hilarious that they don't like the big government even though like it's so funny because they're the ones getting the benefits for the small government. It's kind of hilarious. I'm not trying to make the argument that they need small government or the big government. I'm just saying that they like small government, yet they don't really support the big government as much that actually allows them to survive. It's pretty funny.
Yes. Know what you mean.
It's really hypocritical too.
You know, I just want to know, did you want to go for about an hour? How long do you want to do the podcast?
I don't care.
Okay. I'm thinking about an hour.
All right.
I think Andrew wants me to go downstairs to make him guacamole. Like a fucking
Oh,
also,
yeah. You should have made guacamole when I was there, Dylan.
I made some bomb-ass guacamole. So fucking good. But, also, I'm not going to say, I just want everyone to know, I'm not going to leave just so I can make guacamole. I'm also very tired. But, oh my God. Never mind. I'll talk about that later with you, Neil. But, I thought of something, but it's kind of irrelevant to the show. But, what else should we talk about?
Would it be something that you could easily explain?
It's about school.
I mean, would it be something that you could explain? Like, I feel like...
No, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
Okay.
Okay. So, what else should we talk about? Nothing else. Life is boring. Like, no one's killed anyone. America hasn't gone to war in a while. That's going to change. We're $17 trillion in a deficit. It's fucking retarded.
So,
$17 trillion.
my God.
Trillion dollars. That's that's an almost unfeasible amount of money. You know what I thought was really crazy? You know there's this one Rubik's Cube. It's like a 22 by 22 Rubik's Cube or something ridiculous like that. 20, and it's the amount of possible arrangements is more than the amount of atoms in the universe.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty insane.
Isn't that insane? And the 5 by 5 Rubik's Cube, you would need, so the amount of arrangements for just the 5 by 5 Rubik's Cube is the same amount as if you counted every single grain of sand times 10 to the power of 50. That's how many grains of sand you would need.
To do what? Get all the...
To get all the amount of
combinations for the Rubik's Cube?
For just the 5 by 5 Rubik's Cube.
Oh, wait, really?
Yes.
So we get all the grains of sand on planet Earth and to the power of what?
So the amount of grains of sand on Earth times 10 to the power of 50.
What the fuck?
Yes. The power of 50. That's insane.
Times itself 50 times.
Yes. No. Yeah. Times itself 50 times. So.
After it's been times by 10.
Yes. Isn't that ridiculous?
That is...
It's almost incomprehensible.
It is incomprehensible.
Just imagine, no, that's the 5 by 5 and then the 22 by 22 Rubik's Cube.
Oh.
It's insane. Like
more than 4 times as much.
That's what?
Well, actually, that's actually not even that significant when you think about it. Because think about how much you times the other... Well, I mean, I'm talking about the margin. The margin of increase is a lot lower.
Why?
Like, because it's 4 times. Like, the amount that the other ones have increased. Like more than four times, right? No, for like... Because if he says 20... Wait, what am I saying?
I don't know what you're saying, Neil.
I forgot what I was saying, actually.
So I'll just say the 5 by 5, the amount, so you know that, it's the amount of grains of sand times 10 to the power of 50. Then the 22 by 22 Rubik's Cube is more than the amount of atoms in the entire universe.
Times 20, no, okay.
It's like, that's really unfathomable. The size of the universe is incredible. And the atoms, all the atoms. Also, the cube it's pretty hilarious. It looks hilarious. Just like
has anyone ever thought of the whole alternate dimension theory about how
I was really into that for a while.
Yeah, every
String.
decision that's
That's
made,
that's what
everything that
string.
happens, there's another universe where that does happen. It's
Yeah, that's
hard to
string theory.
fathom how many universes that actually be.
No, it's not. It's unfathomable because it's an infinite. String theory is that there's an infinite amount of universes.
Because think about it for a second. Because people are like, oh, if I choose to eat Thursday or not, no, that's not what it's about. It's like if you move the mouse to the left instead of the right way on your computer, this universe will move your mouse to the right. Like you understand how minor that is, and how that would be for literally everything.
I thought about that more than I would like to say I thought about that. But it gets infinite real fast.
Because they're like, oh, I picked
Because
up this remote. There's
like
only
the most simple way of explaining how it can be an infinite amount of possibilities is like, so a circle doesn't have any sides, right? So you can cut it a different, like infinite ways. You can cut it in half infinite ways, just depending how small your blade is. But that's a whole other thing I do not like to think about. Just like the cake theory. Do you know that? Like the infinite cake?
you can cut it down to infinite.
Yeah, if you just cut it, you could cut it as thin as possible. And then you could
wait
get
a
an
minute.
infinitely tall
Is there
cake.
is there something like is there a point where something gets so small that it just can't exist? Is that a thing? Like would because you can't like split the atoms, can
Yes,
you?
you can. I mean, this is just theoretical, Neil.
Like
So
can you split like can you then start splitting like the electrons and the
no, but
like,
this is it's just theoretical. It's just an
I
example.
understand that.
Yeah, no, you can't. There's only a certain amount that you can cut something, I think.
Imagine how many times that is, yeah.
But like, it is just it's a way of explaining something theoretically. That's easy to understand.
So I think something interesting, if the Earth, like the whole Earth was
I
like
forget what that paradox is called.
if the Earth was squished down like the size of like an orange, it'd be a black hole. I think that's something else interesting.
No, I think yeah.
So
But
the
also,
entire Earth.
I think it would also be a black hole if I heard if it was a plane was shrunk down to the size of a penny. No, there's no way.
Yeah, that sounds like it sounds like a lot different than an apple to or like an orange to an Earth to the Earth. Like different like
or no, it might be a plane to an atom.
A different disparity.
That's what it might be. A plane to an atom.
Yeah.
That would make sense. That would make more sense.
But imagine the Earth down size. It kind of makes you wonder just how small like the center of mass in a black hole really is.
I was listening to something really interesting. It's the smallest painting of all time, and it's on Lincoln's eyebrow on the back of a penny. There's the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
And you can see Lincoln's face in it. If you look really hard, you can see Lincoln's face. His eye in the face. And it's 200 atoms big.
What?
Yes.
Is that actually the smallest like painting or whatever or thing in the world, like art piece?
Yeah.
That's not even on the new pennies anymore, is it?
What?
It's like a shield. Like the new pennies that they have like a shield on them.
Do they?
Yeah. It's really stupid. I really can't. I can't wait for pennies to just not exist anymore. They're such a drain.
They are. Like they really can just go away.
Who in the right mind ever uses exact change? Like, shut the fuck up.
I never use exact change.
No one is. Anyone who does gets to the counter to put the change down. It's like, oh, plus $5 in taxes. Like, fuck. Like, they have to go all over again.
It's like just so incredibly it'd be so annoying too for a cashier. I always feel bad when I have to give them pennies.
I know.
It's like because it's retarded why they have to count pennies. It's like just round it up. I can give you a quarter for this. It's like this is 28 cents. Because sometimes I just happen to have a quarter in pennies. I don't want to give him $1, but then he still has to count.
The fact that sales tax like isn't included in certain things is so dumb.
I know. We're one of the only countries that
we're really the only freaking countries that does this, and it's so beyond stupid.
It's like, Jesus, we are almost a third world country. In a lot of ways.
In some ways.
In some ways. Like, my dad was talking about this thing he heard, and it's not a company. It's like a foundation that will give like American level healthcare to American citizens in other countries. Like, oh, so it's probably just worse than wherever they're at. Like American level health. It's like, all right. It's like you're in. I was just thinking about it. It's like, let's say you're in Somalia and you sign up for this, like this program. It's like, all right, sir, wait here for 5 hours and then maybe we'll help you, but we might
And
send you.
then they come back and then they're like, yeah, you're good. That'll be 50 grand.
Yeah, I know.
It's so fucking
Fuck.
insane.
And that thing pisses me off to no extent. Fucking healthcare. The healthcare in America is complete trash.
So explain to
Like,
me, so do you think that healthcare should be government subsidized?
probably not.
So how do you think that because this is something that I've never actually gotten from the libertarian side. How would that work? Like, how would it work?
It's all the libertarian side is that it would be charity. Charity would take over healthcare for really poor people.
But what if they just don't?
Well, the thing is, Neil, that it has worked in the past for a very long time. Like America
So what do
didn't
they do?
always
So
subsidize.
I don't see it. They wait for the check to clear, then they come like, what do? So let's say you see someone on like a homeless man on the side of the road dying. If you call 911, they pick them up. They pick them up, right?
That's what happens now. They don't pay for it, Neil.
No.
That's just what happens now.
No, yeah, that's what happens now. But the government, like we pay for homeless people's like emergency care.
Yes. So the idea is that charity would take it over.
Okay, so what would happen then? So let's say that so you see a homeless man like dying on the side of the road, right, like having a heart attack, who knows? You call us 911, they come pick him up with an ambulance, they get him to the hospital, then he's ready to be cleared. When the check comes, what if they just don't pay it? Like I know it sounds like, oh, what if they just don't, but like it's a legitimate concern. Like what if it just doesn't happen? Like is that
Well, the thing is that that's
him? Like what?
the thing is though that like that's how American healthcare worked for a long time.
Yeah, that's
That
fucking sucks.
it worked. No, it worked fine.
Like the homeless people just what happens when they couldn't pay?
Then charity would just take over.
But what
Pay
if
for it.
so you're saying that
The
it would
church,
never
the church would pay for it.
you're saying that there would never be a case where it didn't happen, where they just wouldn't pay it.
What do you think happens now sometimes? Sometimes they're just left to die. It's not like it'll be any better. Like it's not like much would change.
I think that
like, I don't even know if I really agree with it, but that's like their argument.
I don't think I mean
But also the American healthcare system.
I don't think they're ever I don't think anyone out of like intent anyone in like help's reach is ever just left out to die because if you're because like the government spends a lot of money on like taking care of homeless people.
It spends a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
So, but the real argument is like for a long time in America, before we had all this fucking bullshit healthcare, first off, medical care cost was very cheap, inexpensive. Like it should be, because America doesn't freaking subsidize it. Or it used to not. Now it does, which is absolutely retarded.
But the countries that do subsidize it seem to be like fine, if you will.
The what?
The countries that do subsidize it, it seems to work. Like almost every single first world country subsidizes healthcare.
Well, it shouldn't. Like our family, we got this Liberty Health share. It's kind of like how insurance used to work. Like where everyone just pool their money, and then if someone needs help, then that pool of money goes to one of those people. And it's really retarded because sometimes it doesn't cover everything, and sometimes you just have to pay for it. Because health insurance is just so fucking like astronomically expensive if you don't have a job that provides it for you. Like because they're self-employed, so they don't have their company. I mean, that is one of the best. Like they just don't have like benefits. It's really expensive. So sometimes it's like for such a minor thing. Like I wanted to go because I had like a little bit of a breathing problem. It wasn't that bad, but it would have cost $500 just to sign up for the visit. Not to do anything, not for medication, not for anything. Just $500 just to go and see this guy for half an hour. It's completely retarded. And then my mom, she goes to like an OBGYN. She literally had to be there. She was like, she was calling the receptionist. She's like, we have an 11 o'clock to 11:10 and 11:10 to 11:20. It's like, but she's like, I only get 10 minutes. And it's like, yeah, that's all you get. Like 10-minute appointments for $200. It's astronomical how much healthcare costs in America. It's like, holy fucking shit. This is all because America subsidizes it.
Okay, wait. Why does government subsidies drive up the cost of healthcare?
Because now the healthcare knows that the government will pay for almost anything. So like a smart business, just like college loans and colleges, they do the same thing. So it's like having a business that everyone wants to buy and it'll be paid for no matter what. So of course you're going to raise the prices up to astronomical heights. Just imagine that. You own a business that everyone needs and also everyone will pay for it no matter what, with no downsides. And the government will pay for it.
So I guess I don't know if the
Wouldn't you charge astronomical amounts because
I would. So why does I think that I know I was kind of dissing the whole thing because of population, but I don't see how that would I don't see how that would actually apply with this argument. But why does it work in like all of the like first world countries?
I don't really know. Probably because they give healthcare to literally everyone.
But we don't do that, to be clear. We're like the only.
They have free healthcare for literally everyone, no matter no. But we don't have that. Which maybe that's a solution. I don't know, but not only giving it to some people and having complete shit. Obamacare is almost entirely bullshit. It sucks.
Isn't it better than nothing?
No, it's almost better than nothing. For a little bit, that's what we were thinking about doing is trying Obamacare. It was still really expensive. It really didn't make it was just pitched differently. It made almost no difference. People were saying oh, why would Trump get rid of Obamacare? What he's doing it for the wrong reason, but it's still stupid to have around. It's almost useless. And it only works for some people that are stupid poor. Really bad, really.
Isn't that kind of a good thing?
No, it is, but it screws over the middle class again. It screws over a family like me, our family, who's middle class, upper middle class.
They're saying either A, we, and I guess so. You're saying A, maybe we basically provide government care, we do the typical first world country thing, basically provide it for everyone, or we don't do it at all, and that's better than what we're doing right now.
Probably.
I can definitely agree with that because it makes sense.
Save a shit ton of money.
Because it's if we provide it to some people, healthcare to some people, and then we're just everyone who doesn't get it or who can't get it, fuck you. And then it drives up the cost for everyone else. If we're not providing it for everyone, that's dumb.
It's the same thing for colleges, which is absolutely retarded. Colleges are so stupid. College loans are so stupid. That pisses me off to no fucking end. It's how stupid is it? So what is it? In the 80s, the kids of America lobbied the government. They're you have to give us these great loans so that we can go to college, which is a good idea. It is a good idea that you have these loans for kids who want to go to college.
What fucked it up?
What?
What fucked it up?
Well, so then these politicians get into office, and then they're all right, well, if you vote for me, I'll do this, which is stupid already because it's kind of obvious that you should have government loans. It's not great. But then, so it's you have these people that, they have the government that's promising these loans to these kids who are pretty stupid. Honestly, they're 18. They're 18-year-olds are very stupid.
I think a lot of 18, I know we're trying to promote anti-ageism, but
18-year-olds are stupid. I'm stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, we're both very stupid. If you I understand, if you're having an argument with someone and they're oh, but I'm older than you, so I know more. That's not an argument, to be clear. That's ageism, I think.
I'm not saying that you don't have an argument because you're young. I'm just saying that most 18-year-olds...
No, I know that. And that's something not this.
But
I think but you have to acknowledge that, you probably are going to change your opinion on a lot more things before you before you die.
And honestly, it's so I'll explain this. This is how the whole system works. It's so stupid. It's one of the most messed up things I've ever heard. So what happens is you have the government who in their public schools is telling all these kids, reinforcing to go to college. And then the colleges are there, and they're in the same chair as the healthcare industry, which is like, oh, everyone wants to go to college because we've got the government telling every single kid to go to college because they're gonna have these college loans. It's just like even now, for me, out of public school for so long, I still think like, oh, it's just a way of life. You just start out with college loans. It's just how life is, which is so stupid. That's the government getting in my head, and I hate it. And then people actually are retarded enough. I mean, it's not really their fault. It's government's fault for tricking them to, like, these stupid kids that, like, they have to go to college to be successful, super easily influenced. And so then they get these kids to go to college. It's like, no big deal because you got these college loans that you have to pay back. It's like no questions asked college loans, which is like the worst kind of loans because, people aren't going to pay them back. And then
This screws over people who can't pay them back, that don't know they can't.
You just put them over people who can't pay them back. And it's just like, oh, it's like an investment, which is stupid. It's an investment that you don't make any money when you invest in it. And you probably won't make money for a long time. And there's really no guarantee literally at all that you will ever make your money back ever.
I mean, to be clear, though, like college graduates on average make a lot more than people who aren't college graduates and are.
No, but it's not even a guarantee. My dad is still paying back his college loans. He's 50.
No, it's not a guarantee.
He's 58 years old and he still pays back his college loans.
That's fucking.
It's fucked up. It's really fucked up.
I feel like they need to at least educate on that.
And it's like you need to tell kids that they don't have to go to college. And colleges, they're sitting pretty because they can charge as much as they want. Like my parents do a lot of work for Villanova, which is a very big local. I mean, Villanova is a very big school, and they raise their prices like $2,000 every year. And my parents ask like, why do you do that? And it's like, well, because we can, and people still come to the school. It's like, well, there's nothing wrong with it because there's just college loans.
Would it be possible to cover?
Wait. It's just guaranteed college loans. So now the college is just sitting there making as much money as they want because literally everyone goes to college. They can charge as much as they want because everyone has money to go to college. And the only people who get screwed over by this, the government gets money back from college loans, and the only one and the colleges make a shit ton of money. But like I said, the only people that ever get screwed over by this are the stupid 18-year-olds who don't know what they want to do and have been influenced by the government to do what the government wants them to do. And now they're in the shithole, $100,000 in debt for some stupid liberal arts bullshit degree.
All right. So what if so would it work possibly to? What if we did the same thing that because I heard the argument like Sanders wanted to like cover the cost of college for like.
That's so retarded. That's the stupidest thing. And they asked him. I asked my mom because she was talking about that, and I was like, "Mom, how is he gonna pay for that?" And she's like, "He has a plan." I'm like, "Bullshit."
Wait.
I looked up.
That wasn't my thought. That wasn't my full thought.
No, I know. Okay.
So if that's possible, then
it's not.
Wait.
Okay.
Is it possible to make the same argument with healthcare that the cost would go down if we just subsidize because
college, Neil, up until when we started to give money to college students, college loans, college was cheap. It was really cheap. It was not expensive. It was not even as close to 100,000. It was like as much as a community college is. It's nothing.
Maybe we should just because I mean, I can understand. I can understand government getting involved with healthcare to an extent. I can understand government getting involved with healthcare. I can understand government even covering all of it or not doing anything. Probably more covering all of it. But however, with college loans, it feels like it's just better if you're getting a loan from the government and the government's not just directly paying for it and no government strings attached. What's the role of the government there?
Nothing. Just stupid.
God,
Bernie Sanders pisses me off to no end. His plan is to I looked up what is his plan? I'm curious. He's like, I'm going to put a 0.1% tax on all Wall Street transactions, which is still like $1 billion short or more of paying off college loans. It's complete retardation.
Well, I mean, it sounds okay. What I'm about to say is going to sound really fucking dumb.
Okay. Probably is.
Look, but I'm trying to play devil's advocate, make like the simplest arguments possible. Like, is it like a 0.01, 0.1 or 0.01?
0.01.
Then can't you just make it like fucking point 0 fucking 2? Like I know it's like fucking dumb. Say
Why
that.
would why would you even want the government to subsidize colleges in the first place? That would just be retarded.
No, no, no,
Because
no, no, no. That wasn't my point. I don't
no,
think. I don't think.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the like even his goal in doing that to get the zero, but maybe he could. But I
Like
mean,
to
more
be clear,
taxes is never good.
I think he could. I think he could do it. And I think it's feasible because of like just like if we're doing 0.01 and it's being that fucking, we're just $1 billion short. Like, yeah, billion is a lot of money, but $1 billion short.
I
It's not
don't
that fucking much.
actually I don't know how short it. I don't know how short it was. It was a lot of money though. It was not just a little amount of money. Like he was really far off. And the stupid thing is, it's like how could you do math that stupid? Like he's totally lying to the American public.
Do you think he's really being malicious though,
Probably.
or just
I mean,
like
it was like so incredibly off the amount of being able to come close to paying for all of college. Like it's astronomical. Like it was so retarded. Why he would even ever say that?
I feel like
Like at least find an excuse that like maybe it's just as retarded.
look, I feel like
But
it's
at least it's maybe some amount of
I,
money.
I don't think I don't think he's going to be able to pay. I think even if he does, I feel like it's going to be even worse because then everyone's going to try to get a college. Everyone's going to get a college degree, which is going to make them all useless, even more useless than most of them are.
Yeah, it would make it entirely useless. That's like everyone having the
It
same.
just
It's just
adds
socialist.
More fucking school. It says more fucking school.
Like at least when my parents went to school, like having a master's really set you apart from everyone else. Like really did, because both my parents have masters, and that really sets us like in that day it really set them apart from everyone else. It doesn't really matter. Like it's like colleges are so easy to get now. Like anyone can get a master's if they just put enough time into school, and you can be completely freaking retarded. My dad literally he would tell me there was just a year where he did nothing and passed. He did literally nothing. He just lived in Israel for a year, and that counted as 1 year. And he did nothing. All he did, he just copied a test. He never went to class. He just copied his friend's test. He was like, can you send me a copy of this? And he was like, sure. So then he never had to take any notes. He just copied his paper and just changed it a little bit. And he was really like, that was just stupid. And he just got away with it. Like, I mean, not like that. That's not a good representation of what my dad is like. That was just because he was 20 and really stupid. But, you know, like colleges, complete retards can pass college. I mean, there's no way the amount of people in America that have IQ scores lower than 70 and the amount of people that have college degrees, it doesn't line up. There's definitely people that have IQ scores lower than 70 who have college degrees.
It just devalues the whole thing, not to mention the inherent value.
Yeah, exactly. If everyone has a college degree, there's no value to it anymore.
If everyone has a college degree, two things happen. No one has a college degree because everyone has one. And second of all, it just adds more fucking school. Like imagine you get out of school and you're considered behind if you don't have a fucking 4-year degree. What the fuck?
Yeah, you're considered stupid if you didn't spend $100,000 in loans when you were 18 years old.
And no, imagine that it's government subsidized and it's completely government subsidized and it's completely free. You have to go through 4 more fucking years of school to be even considered average. What?
Yeah.
And then fuck.
And then it's like the same thing. The same thing will happen with the healthcare system. Not like it's already happening in schools. So healthcare went to shit once government started to subsidize it.
I feel like it was kind of like because the
like at least healthcare was good in the 50s and the 60s. Now it's complete and utter shit because we subsidized it so much. It's like that's the same thing.
That we
wait, but the same thing is gonna happen with colleges. Just gonna go to complete shit because now they're just getting subsidized. It's like they don't need to care about the quality anymore. It's like socialists. They don't need to care about the quality because
I can understand subsidizing healthcare.
Like people no. It's almost like socialist. Like healthcare is almost socialist because everyone needs healthcare and everyone can pay for, like the government subsidizes so much that almost everyone is forced to have it, and you're forced to have healthcare. It's not like you're never going to go to a clinic ever or like a hospital. It's just not how it works.
I can understand healthcare because of its necessity, but the fact that they're trying to do college,
they're making college sound like it's a necessity to stupid 18-year-olds, and even less. They ingrain it in your mind when you're freaking like 10 years old. From when you're 10.
Look, I can understand where they're coming from because I feel like it's like, oh, but if we get like the poorer public to go to college and they can, and yeah, they on average college graduates make a lot more than other demographics. However, it's just like the fact that you're paying for it makes it a lot more expensive because then the college are like, oh, well, shit, we can charge whatever the fuck we want.
Yes, exactly, Neil. So, in conclusion, people are stupid or fucking retarded.
Oh my God.
The government steals from little kids, and honestly, it's like stealing candy from a baby. But they get, just think about how retarded that is. That's like,
No,
wait, Neil. Let's say that the government was incredibly, not like they already are, incredibly closely tied with McDonald's. Not like they are not, because they are, but it's like, it's telling every little kid, go eat at McDonald's, go eat McDonald's. If you don't eat McDonald's, you're a fucking failure. You have to eat at McDonald's. Oh, you need money to pay for McDonald's? I'll give you money to pay for McDonald's. It's like, but you always have to eat at McDonald's. It's like, what? It's so messed up.
And also,
and they have control, and the government has control over literally every single kid. It's like a freaking factory where they can put stupid ideas in your mind.
I mean, you have to understand something. You literally go to school that's paid for by the government, required by the government, unless you actually have to go through extra steps. It is required, and obviously, I mean, this is
if you don't, you're arrested.
Yeah, unless you go through those extra steps, you are arrested because it's against the law under the Mandatory Education Act. You have to go to fucking school unless you go through some loopholes and become unschool or homeschool or whatever. You have to go to school. And then they'll tell you whatever the fuck they want to tell you because fuck you.
So that's the end of everything I have to say.
Yeah, I think I can understand healthcare to an extent. I just feel like you have to do all or nothing because this kind of mentality is what drives up the price of healthcare for everyone.
Especially healthcare, college, fuck college loans.
Forget the college loans. Government, healthcare, all or nothing. College loans, get rid of it. If it's not a necessity, stop subsidizing it.
Neil, do you want to stop kind of soon?
Yeah, that's I think I think that makes sense for kind of a closing statement.
Yeah, I think those are good closing statements. I thought this was very fun.
Yeah, so this was just kind of a rant, but
just bashing the fucking idiots. The government is so stupid. I'd like to kill them.
Oh my God, you're gonna get arrested.
No,
I don't think the government
definitely said that the government is, all right, maybe I don't want to kill them. I'm sorry.
I don't think they're completely stupid. I think that they're just, I feel like they're just, the government's main problem.
Maybe they're not stupid. They're just evil.
Most of the time, yeah. I feel like the government's main problem is that for every single thing, and this is politicians too, they can never say something definitively. Never. That's my biggest problem. Because I feel like that stems for everything. Healthcare. They can't say definitively yes or no. Oh no, let's go with this loophole bullshit little wiggle room. What the fuck?
All right. I think those are our closing statements. All right, thank you, everyone. Nice to see you.
Wait, no, I want to have that too negative of a closing statement. Wait.
I thought we just had a closing statement.
Okay, so thank you all for watching. The government isn't horrible, but they're really wishy-washy, and that's my main problem with them. Dylan?
They are evil.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Humanity has been on an epic journey of discovery, learning the truth about the world we live in. New discoveries about the true origins of humanity, ancient history, free energy, as well as the systematic corruption of world governments are now on the forefront of our daily reality. Is the world headed towards destruction based on control and power? Or is an opportunity now being presented to shift and uplift into a higher consciousness? My name is Mel V, co-founder and creative director of Conscious Consumer Network, an independent broadcast network that was launched on the 1st of January 2015. In the last 3 years, Conscious Consumer Network has broadcast over 2,800 shows in multiple languages, featuring guests from across the world, whilst creating media that is aimed at the creation of a free, fair, peaceful, just, sustainable world. Conscious Consumer Network provides full training and an interactive support network for all broadcasters, and we are always looking for inspiring and educational content.
Hi, this is Lainey Liberty.
And this is Miro Siegel.
In 2018, Conscious Consumer Network has expanded to multiple broadcast locations, increasing our availability and reach across the world, remaining on the cutting edge of independent media. If we wish to create a better world, we must first create better media, geared towards real education instead of indoctrination.
You guys really are what changing the world is going to be about. It's educating kids at a grassroots level.
Having become a pillar of stability in the turbulent world of independent media, we have even more going on in 2018. Conscious Consumer Network is a publicly funded network, and we rely on all of you to keep us on the air. Show your support for independent media by donating to our 2018 Network Support Fund. Dare to seek a better world. Support independent media.